Everyone, Angela with Energy Intuit here, coming back to you for Egregores Part 2. So if you didn't watch the first Egregores video, I'll drop the link below if you'd like to watch that one first. I had some great comments after that video, particularly people that work in spaces where egregores are going to always be there. Okay. So this video is meant to quickly share how to deal with a couple of ways to deal with the egregores, the thought forms that may be in your workplace, for instance. So many people are in this situation. In the first video, I talked about what it's like to step into spaces that don't find ourselves in very often and how we can experience thought forms sort of piled up there. And then since, as I said, since releasing the first video, I've had some comments and I thought through this too for a number of clients that happen to have to go to work and go to, that have to go to a building where there are lots and lots and lots of egregores or thought forms that really don't kind of line up with who they are. Now, I've been doing this work for the last 15 plus years. And I used to do on-site space clearings. I used to go in and clear spaces for people, not corporate spaces as much, although I cleared a commercial space, a corporate space that had used to be a church and it was going to be a mental health clinic. And the people that were doing the project called me in and asked me to clear the space beforehand. And I was thrilled to do that because there was a lot there, as you can imagine. And they wanted to make sure to set the right tone energetically for the clients that would come in. The downside to doing a big, massive space clearing like that is that as soon as humans walk in with their thoughts and their emotions, because our thoughts and our emotions are the most dynamic and the biggest progenitors and attractors of things like different energies and entities, thought forms, egregores, those sorts of things. As soon as humans walk into a space that's cleared, the thought forms can easily start to, congeal and drop there again. So when fast forward to the purpose of this video, and when you're going to a space where perhaps, you work for a government organization or you work for the military, you work in law enforcement, or you work for a corporation where there's a culture that doesn't always feel like it fits you, or perhaps you go into you do work in addiction services and you're surrounded by the egregores and thought forms that happen in those agencies and in those hospitals and things, or you work in healthcare and you go into a hospital where people are sick and dying, and there are all kinds of egregores and thought forms there. This video is for those of you that go into workspaces where you may or may not be encountering egregores. You probably will be soon with the way that the consciousness is rising on the planet. Okay, so I'm going to give you two tactics today to deal with egregores, especially if you're going into a building where you're encountering them. And again, if you didn't see the first video on egregores and thought forms, I'll drop the link below and then give that a quick listen. This will make more sense to you. So what you want to do is you want to start shielding. You want to start energetically shielding. Energy hygiene is a thing. We all have auras and energy fields around us. The Heart Math Institute has done a lot of research in the past about the energetic heart field that's surrounding our heart. Our heart happens to have the biggest heart field. So there is research out there is science out there from the Heart Math Institute, among other places, that illustrate and demonstrate that we all have these energetic fields that cannot be seen, but we certainly can feel things with them. And so you want to work with this concept of energy hygiene and shielding before you walk into your workplace. Ideally, when you get out of bed in the morning, when your feet hit the floor, you want to cultivate just sort of a one or two word mantra that's going to remind you to do this. Perhaps it's shield, shield. Perhaps it's when you're in the shower. If you shower before you go to work, everybody's got different routines. You're intending it there. When you come out of the shower, shields up. But certainly when you hit the parking lot or when you hit the outside doors before you walk into the building of a space where you may be someone encountering lots of egregores and thought forms, you want to visualize that your feet have roots growing out of them and they're growing into the ground, and you're feeling more connected to Mother Earth and her electromagnetic fields or energetic fields. And then you want to visualize that a huge bubble is growing around you. I recommend just quickly think of any color of light, or white light, or silver light, or gold light. It doesn't matter so much the color, but you want to picture that you're shielding yourself in a big energetic bubble before you go in for the day. Whenever we do energy hygiene practices of shielding and things like this, the shielding will tend to last, forgive me, about 72 hours. And so if you forget one day, you probably have it hanging around the next, but it's really important to do this daily. I don't necessarily anticipate that people would need to do it again midway through the day. And depending on your workspace and how sensitive you are, you may need to, and that's okay. Because the more that you do it, the more that you're going to build that habit, the more you're going to build the neural network for it, the more you're going to build the patterning in your energetic body as well, which you can't see. And so that would be number one, do some personal shielding of your own body. And that's going to be the process that gives you the most ease and the most peace without having to sort of feel, hear, move through, think the egregores and the thought forms in your space, in your workspace. It's what you can do, whether you're going into a workspace, whether you're going to the grocery store, whether you're, flying on a plane, anything that you're doing, you can take personal shielding with you everywhere. And it's the most useful energetic hygiene tool after grounding that I can offer to you all. So that's always going to be very tried and true and important. The other thing that you can do, and this kind of depends on the size and scope of your workplace, right? So maybe this is something you're going to do because you feel good in your department or you feel good in your office or some other common spaces, but other parts of the building don't feel as good. What you can do is before you go into work, you just picture your office or the spaces that you walk through are the ones that feel like they could use a little bit of clearing. And you want to picture that you are sending white light or golden light to those spaces and that the light is expanding so much that it sort of splashes all over the walls and the corners of, say, your office or that common space. And you want to picture that that's happening. And then you simply want to think to your guides, may it remain, may it remain, may it remain, may it remain. When you intend and bring in white light like that into a large space, boy, it'll make everything better for everyone in the space. And it'll quickly get edged out by the egregores and the thought forms, excuse me, and the humans going through hard things that are there. So I recommend it and just want to let you guys know that if you do that, it can get tiring because then you're doing space clearing for a lot of space. If you're doing it regularly, but also you're not doing anything wrong if you throw white light, say you're going to go to a conference and you don't know what the energy's like and you want to throw white light to the whole building before you get there. You can do that. And if you find that it erodes quickly, it doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. It's a function of all of the humans that are coming in and bringing in all of their frequencies. Everything, all energy is vibration and frequency. And so the nature of energy, quantum physics teaches us this, is that everything is moving and vibrating and dynamic. But what that means for us humans is our thoughts and our emotions, right, are the biggest progenitors and the biggest detractors of this stuff. So just humans walking into, say, a conference space where you've thrown white or golden light in ahead of time are going to start to change that mix of things. So again, if you feel that like the shielding or the light that you threw at the location before going there or your workspace before going there has eroded, you're not doing anything wrong. It just illustrates and demonstrates how, gosh, imagine if all of us were doing that, right? How great it could feel to go to some of these conferences and spaces and into our work every day. So it's something that you can do, and it's sort of more a mission of service to, of course, make your experience better day to day and for your colleagues and coworkers better day to day. And also just know that depending upon where you work and what things are going on there, it could feel disheartening, and I don't want it to feel that way for you. Know that when you throw white light in a situation ahead of you that you're walking into, you're benefiting the whole building, you're benefiting the whole space, even if it doesn't stay for long. All right, I hope this has been helpful for you. So I have a whole space clearing protocol that I would love to share with you if you're interested. It's a PDF that I can email you. YouTube has gotten rid of their private messaging, their DMs, so we're not able to do that here. But what I will say to you is I'm going to drop my email below. And if you would like to receive the space clearing protocol by email, just drop me an email and you can put in the subject line clear and just send that to me, and I will email you the PDF of my space clearing protocol. That's been very successful. It's what I used when I cleared that former church that was set up for a mental health practice. So happy to share that with you. Hope that helps you in your energy hygiene efforts. It's been a joy to be here for you. Give any of the other videos a listen. If you're looking for psychic development tools, there is a list of a few of those building. And I do regular monthly energy updates here, actually bi-monthly energy updates here, as well as channeling. So hopefully you'll stay a little while, hit the subscribe button, check out a few other videos, and let me know how I may be of service to you. All right, remember to email me clear if you would like to receive the PDF of the space clearing protocol, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.